this again, funny. You see it doing zigzags before? Yeah,
flying all right.
The UFO, which yet was filmed by the Japanese television crew that night, was analyzed by Nippon Television with the help of latest state-of-the-art computers. The result? It's definitely no conventional aircraft.
Yeah, and it was upset for us.
日立取材班が撮影した飛行物体もコンピューター解析してみた。エリア51に現れた例の光る物体は、その明るさの度合いを細かな色に分けて表示するとこのような姿になる。一方、その後同じ場所から撮った車のヘッドライトは明るさがこのような構成になり、比較することができる。これはその光の明るさが時間によってどのように変化するかを大きさで示したもので、ヘッドライトの場合かなり変化するものということがわかる。一方、エリア51で撮られた光る物体は常に同じ大きさで明るさが変わらない。やはり普通の物体とは全く違うものなのではないだろうか。
But also around Las Vegas, unknown flying objects are regularly observed.
I took my wife to work one morning, and on the way back, I was looking out the windows, I usually do, and I carry my camera with me quite often. And I saw this anomaly, this UFO in the sky, and so I stopped my car and pulled out and took some footage of it, which is what you're looking at now, I guess. That's about it. And it came on 2 different mornings, as a matter of fact. So on 2 different mornings, I took pictures of it. This was in 1991, and it was, actually, we've seen a lot of things around Las Vegas here. It's a great area to spot UFO objects. I've seen cigar-shaped UFOs, I've seen the regular discs, and I've seen anomalies of all styles and types around here. I've spent many a night, all night, up looking for UFO things in the sky.
One morning when I woke up, I was drawing the curtains of the window, and it was a cloudy day, but clear. And they looked just like bowler hats, dull grey, no windows, no wheels, no nothing, just looked like a bowler hat, metal, definitely metal. There was 2 of them. One was flying in a steady fashion, and the other one, it looked like the pilot was drunk. Because it was just flying this way. And they went down behind some apartments which were only about 100 yards away from me. That I was impressed with. I told my wife about it, and she gave me a strange look. And 2 weeks to the day, she was at the same window, saw the same things, and called me at work. And she was gibbering away, and I was, yeah. And from then on, we'd seen quite a few. I spent a lot of time out in the desert with my camera, and I got rather obsessed with it for a while. But as you'll see in some of the other footage of what I've got, it's quite interesting, and it's definitely unexplained. It happened when I was at work. It was a Sunday, and it was close to 7 o'clock. And for some reason, I just took my camera to the parking garage roof and started filming what you see here, which are 2 remote-type objects sort of dancing around. And in a little while you'll see another craft come along underneath. It's a little larger, and it's very stable, and this guy's steadily heading north. These two which are dancing around seem to interact with it, and then it goes on its way. A few minutes later, another craft comes along the base part of the mountain, and in between that, an aeroplane going in to land at McCarran Airport goes past, so you get a good idea of the size and the distance. And then these two objects again interact with this large craft, and as you'll see towards the end of the tape here, I follow it round to see where the craft went to, and it's totally out of sight. It's vanished.
Do you recognize more details when visible?
No, not really. No. It was just close to dusk. They were just lights in the sky. It's slightly delta-shaped, I think, the objects are. That's how they appear anyway, when I zoom in.
Obviously, the Lazar UFOs were just the tip of an iceberg. A black world, as fantastic as a fairy tale country or a faraway planet. Yet, committed researchers try to trace down the last mystery of these super-secret test flights.
By looking at the maps and by discussing things not only with the sheriffs, but also with friends of mine, I found a mountaintop in which you can actually climb to the top of the mountain, and it's about an hour-and-a-half hike or so. It's about 7 miles to the top of a mountain which we call Morton's Mountain, since I was the one that first found it. Climb up to the top of the mountain, and this is where you get this spectacular view of virtually the entire base. You can see this particular video was taken at night, so because of the fact that we were very afraid of being caught out there still during the day, because we weren't really sure whether or not we were over the military's border or not. At about 6 a.m. every morning, they were sending helicopters out, literally chasing us around if we were anywhere near their border. And the evening times, they would send out the security vehicles, the Bronco security vehicles, who would do everything from take down our license plate numbers to actually go through our cars to looking for us in the desert, thinking that we were actually stepping across their border. This videotape comes from our efforts, literally risking our lives at that time, to be able to get a good view inside this, probably one of the most top secret facilities the United States has above ground. Specifically what you're looking at is you're looking at Area 51 at night, taken in the taken at around dusk. You're also looking at another section of the video which was work that looks like was going on the runway. Now, for some reason, the military was carrying out some kind of either construction operation at night. Now, there seems to be a huge halogen lamp that's illuminating part of the field, in which you'll see smaller lights, which are trucks and jeeps, basically, coming and going from this light. You'll see on the film what we thought originally was a ship actually coming on and testing and moving around on the floor of the valley. It didn't really move that much at night, so that's why we concluded that it must have been some sort of halogen work lamp. You'll see, for the first time, the object which is called Old Faithful. Now, Old Faithful is called that because something appears in the sky over Area 51 at 4:50 a.m. virtually every Thursday morning. Now, many times, this object is preceded by what in California have become known as skyquakes. There is a very large object which we've witnessed out there between 700 and 800 feet long, and this object literally comes in from space, traveling anywhere between Mach 10 and about Mach 18, flies over Catalina Island, over Southern California, and then lands at Area 51. This particular object that you're seeing, we theorize, is what's known as Project Senior Prom, which is underneath the Project Aurora banner, and that this object is in fact an unmanned 132 nuclear weapon carrying nuke platform that in essence orbits the planet to be able to rain down nuclear bombs on virtually any country at the push of a button. This object, as it's landing, you'll see it appear in the sky, very dramatic footage of the first time anything has ever been shot actually physically landing at 51. The object appears at exactly 4:50 a.m., comes down in a conventional flight pattern. Now, sometimes this object